Hello everyone, welcome. This is the Daily Dharma. Today is the 12/12 portal, wide open, and hopefully you guys are starting out having a great, powerful, fantastic, peaceful day. Whatever you need for the day, may you have the ability to accomplish those goals. Let's take a moment and synchronize our energies. Take a deep breath in. And as you release, intend that any of your fears, anxieties, or dramas pass through the smoke, cleansing, transmuting, uplifting any of those heavier, lower emotions or energies into awareness and clarity. So today, we do have a few cards out already. I haven't looked at any except these, but I wanted to just let you know I also am uploading a fireside meditation. It was something quite impromptu that I did this morning while I was getting ready for the 12/12 portal, which it is actually within the 12 o'clock hour right now. So this is part of the meditation in motion here. So the 12/12 portal, I don't want to talk too much about what I think it is. I want to see what the cards are asking us to witness within ourselves. The meditation was because of yesterday's messages being the tantric chakra bridge and how we connect and bridge and build heaven on earth, and how the core of creation is within the sacral chakra. And so that was the inspiration for that little impromptu meditation. Please be gentle. It wasn't scheduled or scripted, so it's just there for more support should you choose to view that. It's just about 33 minutes long. So let me know what you think on that. Let's see what the cards are. So the first shuffle that I gave was the Beyond Lemuria deck, and one came out. It's the sacral chakra, core of creation from yesterday. All right. Well, we'll let that one be front and center. Underneath, we have the element of air, which governs the heart chakra. And it says paradigm shift. I love that. So the wings. I'm limited on the recording time, so that meditation is only 33 minutes, but part of this appears to be as we are able to unburden the heart, there's some type of weight released off the shoulders. And this, I think, is part of our energetic bloom cycle, where we can either see ourselves as something like earth angels or star seeds or some type of more empowered beings than previously anticipated. And so it's giving this energy of dragonfly, butterfly, dragon energy in general. I'm seeing that the recording is lagging a little bit behind, so hopefully that doesn't irritate you too much. Let's give this a little bit of another shuffle and see if there's any energies related to the 12/12 portal. Now we have the element of ether, the seamless, unspeakable. So it's kind of in the moment talking to me about how creative we are. We are at the core able to spin all types of energetic, psychological, physical stimuli and information, wave frequencies in formation from the ethers that are somewhat informing us at every chakra level about what's at work and at play in our lives. And so ether is a very powerful element. Now we have throat chakra under the deck. All right, I'll stop there. So we've got many more wings going on here, if you could tell. This is also talking about something on the quantum level, where we have the cup formulated by the it's been a while since I've reviewed this, but it's something about the energies that are emitted that kind of, as they wave forward, as they roll from the body, then it's like the interference patterns somewhat are seen to be, that didn't come on camera, somewhat unfurling in such a way. And I believe that the cup is kind of formed by the energy coming out and around and back through, and it has something to do with this 0 point energy, and how we can also see the emanation from the center like two pine cones kissing in the center. And then I don't know if this is making any sense. I'm not a quantum physicist. I just know enough to get myself in trouble. So it kind of like spirals outward and then becomes a cone shape. But there's something here about the recycling of the energy, and we already talked about the wings. And here we have this Merkaba field here, the auric shield, that's then being the energies and the elements of the ether, the teeming energy all around us that we can't even put into any type of context. It's like there are no words. There perhaps are no symbols for energetic force in motion, because it's the observer that assigns the meaning. So ether is neutral and it's at our disposal. It's at our beck and call. So as we call the energy, as we recall nostalgic patterned thought, patterned behavior, so on, or even visions that we repeat and practice into beingness, as we express our truth, good, bad, or indifferent, it looks like this is what we're being told is how we create. And I would suggest we already kind of knew that, but let's see what the card came out here. Oh, the Divine Masculine. And under the deck, we have Gaia. Beautiful. So Divine Masculine, I'll read it for you today. The frequency of Divine Masculine supports our strong, focused, and active side, allowing it to express itself, its truth, while helping us to bring our dreams and ideas into form with kindness and wisdom. Beautiful. So we're talking about the portal of creationism, the way that we actually, it's like all of the inputs and then drawing forth from the inner clarity in this cauldron, the core of creation, like the inner forge that is always churning and co-creating with the universe, because the universe sends us these energies that um, ultimately are generally neutral, even like life and death, all things must live, all things must die. Energetic, energy, they say, can neither be created nor destroyed. And so it's like, it's a conservative universe. And so things need to be recycled. And so many different things could be talked about in this moment, but I believe what we're talking about is just how we are a conduit for heaven on earth. And it's really reminding us of every judgment or past nostalgia that we can't forgive or that we can't release from our energy continues to play around in our minds and in our hearts and in our chakra systems, sort of bending and maybe even, I'm hearing, pixelating images so that they're not rendered in the extreme contrast, isn't the right word, it's the extreme high definition that could be in Astro, but it's like the technology hasn't been upgraded thoroughly enough to use a projector to connect to Wi-Fi type of a thing, like one of those old school film projectors trying to connect that with Wi-Fi. It's like we're kind of showing that until we purge the unnecessary um, old films from our repertoire, we can only hold so much data at the forefront of our co-creative capacity at once until we raise our vibrational frequency, and then we can hold a bit more as we expand, um, as we're able to ground in greater power base, greater awareness, greater activation capacity, the more energy that we're able to flow with and to sway into co-creation. It's like you don't um, the the wonders and the mysteries and the magic of the universe are for somewhat very few, because the the power has the potential, the great potential to corrupt those manifestors that have recognized how to make things happen. And there are definitely multiple pathways. And some of those pathways have integrity and some do not. And some have humor and some have workaholism. But it's like all things in balance as we're generating and crystallizing our experience and how we envision the truth of our lives to wish to manifest through our chakra illumination, because as we shed our light onto the universe, so therefore our perceptions become compounded into reality, if that makes sense. So underneath the deck, yes, Gaia. um, Yeah, let's do a few more code cards, and that one came out yesterday as well. Root chakra flipping, grounding our creation aspect. Before we get into the shaman cards, let's get a few more code cards out. What else on the divine masculine side? Rooting our ability to influence, to be assertive, to be empowered, to affect and shift and change anything that needs to happen, to go out and get after the things that we have set for goals and priorities in our lives, and to perhaps stop procrastinating. We have authority to have the wherewithal to get what's yours, what's intended for you in this moment, and to not sit down and let life pass you by. For instance, again with tantric journey on the bottom here, I want to read this one too. The frequency of tantric journey helps us to unlock the hidden knowledge and wisdom that we intrinsically hold about how to reach a state of wholeness and completion through our sensual experiences with ourselves and with another. So, sensual experiences, we could definitely write that off to some of our physiological and desirous, lusty needs for sure. But sensual experience is like biting into a fresh, off the vine fruit, if that's your thing, or having that thirst quenching glass of cool water on a hot day. It's the sensual experience of being satiated and having our needs met is just delightful and ecstatic. And we don't need to wait for some kind of beautiful sports car or a mansion on a hill with a staff of 20 to feel the delight that happens in the sensual experiential capacity of just getting deeply into the core of creation, to feel that we have the power and the capacity and the wherewithal and the vision and the inspiration to go and get something and to make something happen here. So we're being fired up for some type of journey that we need to complete here. Ooh, beautiful. On the bottom of the deck here, underneath Tantric Journey, we've got Earth, Change, Remembrance. We were talking about nostalgia. We've got Cosmic Flower and Sacral Chakra. We'll just put those here. And that will leave Divine Feminine underneath the deck here. So a few more here just to round it out. We've got discernment. We already used the word discernment, whether that was in the meditation or in this broadcast. I'm not sure in the moment. universal love, to figure out for ourselves what is the highest love, that we're always home in our own beingness. I believe what we're talking about is understanding how to ground our choice and our willpower into the highest integrity, the highest good for all, and to utilize that authority and not to roll over to false authority or false alignment or false masking. Um, yeah, there's a lot of change in the air. We've got transition here now. Transition of alchemy and oh, that needs to be enough. And then throat chakra and passion showing up under the deck there. So there's both tantric and masculine and feminine out here. We've got root. Yesterday we also had root and crown. So it's a similar message, but it's telling us how to, that the how to is something that we have to make our own. It's specific to our own resonance, to our own crystallized reality. And so in that way, we become the prisms, not prisons, that then as the light comes through us, as the experience charges us with the critical mass possible to thought I dropped something. The critical mass necessary to make a discernment and make a choice, and then whether it's use our voice or use behavior or be inspired to shift or to change internally or some type of external thing. Like there's nothing more enjoyable for some people than taking a bunch of random items and making art out of them, or making something relevant, inventing something. So we're talking about a very inventive mindset here, but it comes through the divine feminine, which feels secure in its capacity and its deservingness. It's like be we would be we could still invent, but it would be soulless inventions, for lack of a better term, and just to be succinct with the message, if it weren't to include the divine feminine aspect. And let's go ahead and just read that, as long as we're reading them today. The frequency of divine feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect with our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. So that's kind of what I'm saying. It's like we can go run out and try to have the most fun in our lives, but it would be sort of a less full experience. It would be a little bit more empty if we weren't able to figure out the dimension of how to bring other individuals along in our journey. And some people have figured this out and others have not. But I think that all of us, our inner verse is always trying to renegotiate and rebalance and reappropriate the different lessons and the ingredients, so to speak, that come to us for our continued manifestation. We need to be challenged and we need to be inspired by life and by things that shift and change. And so during these changes, I think that we're being told what inspires your heart space. What is it? What is that lesson that you're having trouble putting this unspeakable message through the vibrational truth of your heart and soul, and then making your life a beautiful beacon and altar of your sacred reverie. It sounds a little bit poetic in this moment. So maybe you're having this very nostalgic remembrance of what it is that you've had, this long held dream. It doesn't have to be like, I'm going to be a doctor or dentist when I grow up type of a thing. Doesn't have to be, I want to have this family type of thing either. Doesn't have to be so mundane. It could just be like, I really want to have a sense of adventure and a sense of joy and the ability to communicate, to be seen. And and heard and witnessed in this life. I want my mirror to reflect back to me and to exchange dialogue, because that's what the nature of growth and shifting and changing really is. It's a profound situation here where we're all growing and shifting and changing, and we're somehow, some of us here, getting our wings or dusting off our wings so that we can recognize the, however this hits you, I mean no religious banter with it, but to kind of dust off our wings and really start witnessing and being a beacon of the inner Christ within ourselves. And that reminds me, I always give these disclaimers about religion because I feel like it's not really quite my thing. But if you can take the references to God or to spirit with the grain of your higher truth, that would help the message. So earlier, I've got this little box. I got it from, I believe, my grandmother, and it's got all these little bitty cards in it with these sayings, and some of them are a little bit churchy. So they don't always hit me right. And so I brought it here and I was like, well, I'm just going to look through and see if anything's good. And they were so relevant, I decided to leave them out and share them with you guys. So these were all in a row in here. The first one says, call upon me in the day of trouble, I will deliver thee. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Oh, they have things on the back of them as well. Father, I want to live close enough to know that when I call, you will answer. O God of all comfort, bring quietness and calm to hearts worried about what the day may bring. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Lord, keep me meek, so that the love of Christ will shine through me to others. And when I feel alone, Father, help me to remember that you are with me, and I have nothing to fear. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest. Ah, yes, wherever you go, you are home. Was that the meditation or was that this reading? Lord, help us to speak to others in a way that will help them to see you. For with God, nothing shall be impossible. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, even religion aside. So I'm reluctant to start out with these cards, but let's get them out so that we can move along. We've got Spirit of the River, Movement Towards Adventure. That one came out yesterday as well, I think. It's talking about that flow state and how we are always in a new spot in the flow of time. It's no matter how stagnant we are, this is a river of life, and it's always flowing continually from point A to point B. We can see that from birth to the death portal, and then recycling that energy perhaps back through into upgraded and liberated form until such time as that energy begins to be reimagined and reperceived into shifted, transitioned waveform and reobserved into a new manifestation. Then we have the coyote, number 12. The coyote here is an interesting one. The coyote is the trickster, but the coyote has a lot of gifts as well. The coyote can talk to us about how when we move through life, part of the discernment process is to witness our own transgressions in the mirror before pointing the finger at anyone else, to witness our own trickery, our own deceptions and illusions, and to let them wash over us like the cleansing waters of a waterfall, just washing us clean in our newfound awareness that we are always the angel and the devil on both shoulders speaking into our ear, and that the choice is always ours. The rhyming guides wanted me to say something about whatever we hold dear. I don't know what that's about. but yeah, it's something about the choice point and what do you really rally behind, what types of causes, what kinds of vibrational resonance, and where are you going from here, what can you imagine that you deserve, and what are you generating and gestating with all of that powerful incubation capacity that you hold. And here we have Beauty Way, that dragonfly with its wings here, just coming from the chrysalis of this lotus. And in the meditation as well, we talked about how the 1,000-petaled lotus at the crown opens up and grows, and how the energy is then kind of growing and expanding, and then these energetic pillars and light streams and ribbons maybe even come all the way around and encapsulate us in this cosmic Merkaba egg. And that's how we kind of move through the astral realms and energetic realms. Here we have 29 horned cactus, resourcefulness. So this is the unspeakable, the seamless, unspeakable ether. It's like there are no edges to what we perceive as self and other. Ultimately, it's like I'm touching this molecule, and this molecule is touching the next and the next and the next. And so I'm actually touching both of my fingers, because the molecules between, the empty space between, creates current and energy and attraction and connectivity from a distance. And so we're talking about the expanding of our mind and our resourcefulness to understand how our destiny is rising to meet us and begging us and pleading for us to continue to rise up to the occasions and the invitations to grasp for what is truly ours, to take that beautiful steering wheel that's set before of us, and to take the helm of our ship, our relationships, and our intentionship, and our authoritarianism within ourselves, our sovereign nature, and our blessings, and to understand that we deserve and that we are always building and growing and expanding in this way, and always at a new point in the river, witnessing something shifted and changed. And so all we can do is to go with that sacred flow. So resourcefulness is everything that's coming at us, again, is quite neutral in its nature. Even life and death are somewhat neutral, because energy has no gender. It has no gender, is something that we call it. It isn't gendered. And so we're breaking through so many new dimensions here that I think it's going to be different for everybody. Just a few more cards here from the Return to Spirit deck, and then we'll get some Oracle cards to close us out. Yes, what are you committing to? What types of energies are you giving your time, energy, and attention to? Frequency shift. Yeah, you're one of the forerunners along with the others that are watching this, and you're shifting your own energy so that you are, oh, I'm holding the deck upside down, so that you're poised to bring this new information down. Do you see the wings? It's that pillar of light that you're exchanging with the soul star chakra here, and getting those energetic downloads that are expanding your awareness and your sensual nature as well. Yes, because look at the throat and the ears and the mouth and the third eye being awakened and enlivened here with sacred energy. And it's that lotus bloom here that's really like this rebirth coming out of the chrysalis with this newfound knowledge that you are aligned with this energy in your life. Feline energy keeps coming out. You've definitely probably been somebody who's very comfortable in your independent nature, in your ability to do things on your own, to validate yourself, to grow through your own evidence without validation from others in many cases, because I believe that the feline has the pathway of being how do I want to say this gently? I guess just left to our own devices from an early age, weaned early. That's kind of what I want to say, weaned. And so it was like we weren't taught how to then alchemize the nectar of the environment into our body, into our beingness in those sensually delightful ways. We were misinformed that it came through the sensual delights of just flesh, but the flesh is also our nature, and so anything that we could be tempted by is also, it's part of that adventurous spirit that wants to be looked at, honored in some type of a way. I mean, with highest intentions. I'm not going to go into the nuance of that statement. Let's see. Something from Whispers of the Ocean Oracle. I don't know if we're going to have time for the Tao. I hope that you guys are keeping your vibes high and tight at the portal here, at the 1212 portal. It says empower yourself. That puts it directly in a nutshell, doesn't it? Tune into your personal power. You're more than able to handle the situation that's facing you currently. Allow yourself to be the strong, beautiful person that you are capable of being. It's like the universe is like, you've got this, and not only do you have it, but you're resourceful. So what you don't have, you can create, like the inventor. And the universe is here to help you to witness yourself, to forgive yourself, and to also utilize that sacred energy of discernment when it's appropriate for us to do some work behind the scenes and keep ourselves out of the view of prying eyes or those that are not at the level, however that means to your situation. And to know that you are right where you need to be, perfectly poised for this next phase of your journey. Acknowledge how you're truly feeling in this moment. Have faith that the universe will take care of a current concern by providing the best possible outcome for all involved. Exactly. We were absolutely talking about that. It's like, just do your best. Let the universe handle the rest. Give it to God, Goddess, and keep shining as brightly as you dare. Number 53. I don't know if we'll have time to read that. Thank you so much for joining today. The great way is easy, yet people still prefer the side paths. Be aware when things are out of balance to stay centered within the Tao. When rich speculators prosper while farmers lose their land. When government officials spend money on weapons instead of cures. When high-paid health CEOs get away. When the upper class is extravagant and irresponsible, while the poor have nowhere to turn. All of this is robbery and chaos. It is not in keeping with the Tao. And great things are being worked out behind the scenes for these reasons. Thank you so much once again. Take good care of yourselves, everybody, and we'll see you next time.